This is part 2 of On the Drive. I'm not actually on the drive because it got too dark out this evening. So I wanted to discuss the whole revelation with Trump and Carrier. Trump has essentially put out that he's going to keep Carrier, or he's going to create policy to keep Carrier back in the United States. Politically, this looks awesome. Essentially, he's decided, when he was on the campaign trail, he noted that he would use tariffs and eliminate government contracts of companies that are essentially taking government money but shipping jobs overseas. So that looks good. That sounds strong, and I actually like it. I'm not against aggressive presidents when they're acting in the benefit of the public. The problem is he took the tariffs off the table, and the only thing that he's done now is, all right, I'm going to give you guys massive tax cuts, and I'm just going to give you blunt sums of money if you stay. So the company has decided, well, sure, if you're just going to give us cash and you're going to give us tax cuts, yeah, we'll stay. So they're still shipping few of the jobs to Mexico. They're not taking all of them, but the company is still getting a huge amount of money. This is absolutely obscene. Companies, for the most part, use our water, our air, our infrastructure, our airwaves in regards to media. The idea that they would ship jobs overseas and then hide tax money on top of that is pretty sick. So this idea that Trump is just going to give them money for it instead of some kind of punitive system like tariffs or just elimination of government contracts. He's a Republican, so yeah, he's going to have a giveaway, but it's not a good one. It's not a good idea. And you can't do it for every corporation that decides to leave. So every corporation that decides to leave, what is Trump going to do? Just give them blunt sums of money to try to stay in the United States? That's crazy and completely unsustainable. So, yeah, A for politics. The media in this country is pretty shitty, so I don't expect them to kind of go into it and explain that he's just giving the money to stay, or he's giving these immense tax cuts to these people. So politically, it looks good. Substantively, it's a giveaway. It's just looting the treasury. It's taking government money and just telling somebody, here, if you decide to stay and keep your few measly jobs in this country, I will give you money from the government coffers. And that's obscene. So yeah, A for optics, F for practice. So I wish Obama would have did something like that. I mean, in some weird way, it makes him look that much weaker. The fact that Trump is not even president yet, and he's coming out with, I'm going to do this, this, and this if they try to remove those jobs. So at the very least, you have one president who's essentially, or one presidential candidate who's pushing NAFTA, which allowed those companies to do that. You have to understand. So trade deals have a particular effect, and oftentimes those things aren't trade deals. They would say, so think of it as you're a corporation. You're essentially a legal machine. Your job is to make cash. That's the only thing that factors into your bottom line. How much money am I going to make from doing A, B, or C, meaning these choices? People don't really factor into it. It's an issue of profit acquisition. That's it. If you're thinking of these corporations as being people or having feelings, you missed the boat. It doesn't make sense. It's crazy. So you have a corporation. Your job is to make as much profit as possible. A trade deal is passed. That trade deal allows you to ship jobs to Mexico, Malaysia, China, South Korea, wherever, Vietnam. And in shipping the jobs to those places, you can now pay them a little bit more. So they were making $1 an hour. Now they're making $2 an hour, maybe even $3 if you're a generous corporation. But in order to do that, you fired an American worker that was making like $10, $12, $15. So that's what? $12 profit, $12 expense between the two. You can re-import it back because you have a free trade deal. There's no tariffs put on the items that you're re-importing into the country. You bring it back in. And so now that corporation was able to send those products somewhere else to get them made, reap huge benefits off the profit that they can make by paying those people much, much less, save a shitload of money by firing the American workers who they're paying at the very least a minimum wage, and likely more than a minimum wage, and then re-import the items back into the country to sell into the country itself. Reaping huge profits that essentially go all the way to the top. There's a reason why 90%, I think it was 95% of the gains made over Obama's term went to the top 1%. 95%. Many of the jobs that were created were service jobs. So many of them were just low paying. So even though Obama's saying, "Oh, look how many jobs I created," it does. It's a scam, man. The actual unemployment number is like 10%. It's the 4%. It's not an international standard. If you were using the same international standard to apply to the United States, it's like 10%. If you get into demographics, like between African Americans or something like that, it gets even that much more abysmal. So it's something, even though it's not good. And at the end of the day, I would prefer Obama to do something strong like that, to actually stand for something, saying, yeah, we're not going to let you ship those jobs overseas. That would have been a contradiction since he was pushing the TPP, which would have shipped jobs overseas. But still, it would have been nice to have a president that was progressive, or even just strong in general on stuff like this. At the end of the day, we didn't. And to some degree, part of the reason we end up with Trump. So it's a giveaway. It sucks, even though it may look good on its face. So, all right, guys.